we have always to start with something like this. What is this now?
This is specification.
So that means that this is the document name specification. Any fashion designer have to start with a specification, very much in detail. Okay, and it depends on the ability of each designer that manufacturer can receive a specification in different formats. Some very professional designer who come from professional design school, university, they can have very much professional, very standard specification. Otherwise, with some other some designer who are very much in the very first stage of their career, they also can have a certain way of visualization of their ideas. So this is a kind of specification, and here you might see, come here please. So here you might see, okay, the whole shape of the bag with different detail like the strap, right? The outside of the bag, and they will try to explain how they want us to do with some details of the bag by using the symbols like the arrows, using the wording very much in details. One standard specification sheet must contain, beside the picture of the bag, they must have the dimension. Sometimes maybe in inch and sometimes maybe in centimeter. It depends. However, inch or centimeter that can also have to translate it in an understandable way to him. So actually that is our one member of our R&D group. So what is the R&D doing? Okay, leading the R&D team that is responsible to get the brief from all our manufacturing clients, reply them with the specification sheet that has to try to understand what client wants from such a specification sheet, what they really want them, to develop a bag sample or real bag. So whenever that receive a detailed brief, a specification sheet like this, that have to study to understand. Okay, and if he has any question, he can make question to the client. However, at this early stage, a specification sheet is not the only thing. Besides that, what we need is material. Say something about this. What kind of leather?
This is the natural leather, and
so we have, you might see here, different colors, and even thought that we name them natural leather, cold natural leather. Try to come here and touch it, rather than just taking picture of it. Touch it.
It's important.
Okay.
The leather explanation she's giving isn't just visual, it's all of the five senses. It's the smell of the leather, it's the touch of the leather, anything that you can get, that you can capture through video.
Here you may see that, okay, there are different kinds of leather. For example, this one, no grain, right?
Yeah.
No grain. But this one, much grain, right? So it depends, on the finishing of the leather. And here we just use the very natural leather and top quality leather. Okay. So that you have to make the question, and that you have together work with the designer what kind of leather you want, what color, And sometimes it's really tricky, it's really challenging because there is quite a big difference between the back in the picture and the back in the reality. Okay, if we make a wrong selection on the ladder, sometimes the designer cannot get what he or she expected from the drawing or the specification. So very important for that and his team member, you know, to understand well. At the first moment when we look at this bag, we have to understand, okay, what type ladder we have to advise our client to use. Okay? And then after that, understood really well the need, the demand, and all the information in this document from the client. Understand well, okay, what type of ladder, lining, zipper, hardware, everything. Then he will start up with the pattern development. And this is a standard pattern package which that develop. Now, can you please explain? Try speak something. Don't worry.
Yeah.
That he started from the position of something like the liver boy, without English, without any knowledge about fashion, R&D, design, and then he worked with me for around 4 or 5 years, right? 3 years, and then he started. He make a great effort. He just learned English himself because it could be really a big problem for him if he cannot understand what our client talking about, because most of our clients now come from overseas. They just speak English. Sometimes, you know, they speak French. Okay, so that must understand well English, so that he just learned himself, and it's really a big effort from him. So that now, can you please explain a little bit about the pattern? What are those pieces?
Yeah. One set of pattern, it below so many details. For example, see the body of back. This is the handle.
This is the handle. You mean the strap?
No, handle.
Handle.
Yeah, handle.
This is the
just
handle.
for hand.
Okay. Here, this detail. Okay.
You guys can see so many details.
So many pieces, right? You mean so many pieces here, and it's quite confusing, right? Right? So being not a designer, we cannot understand what mean those kind of pieces. Okay? So this is how the pattern were formed, were created, and that role is you have to put all information on this envelope. And one more thing I would like to make you to notice is the things are not always the same from the beginning to the end of a bag development. Sometimes at the beginning the designer say, hey dad, okay, I just want my bag is like this. Okay, and I want the length of the strap is like this. But then during the progress, he or she might change his mind. It's normal. It's normal. It's very much normal. And then that has to prepare, to discuss that it's not working like something like a normal worker just follow the designer request, because as I told you, that is quite complicated in terms of transforming from a drawing a specific sheet into a real bag, and sometimes that had to work with the designer like like very close partner. We start brainstorming the ideas, what is the best, and sometimes that I also have to apply the designer. Hey, you guys, if you leave your stuff like this, if you call, something like a kind of comfort for your customer, something like this. And it's really fun experience for that when he can work with different clients in the world and can work with different designs. It's just like a very interesting work for him and his team. Okay?
So designer meaning designer from client or from
Both. Designer from client and the designer from our company as well. Do you have any question at this stage? You like? Just ask me if you have any question.
You guys have questions?
Yes, about the leather, so can you show me that how can you ensure it is natural 100%?
Sorry?
So how can you ensure that this leather is natural 100%? Like, is there any certificate or something to ensure it?
For sure. I forgot to ask Miss Tan to prepare a certificate paper to show to you guys, but I can send through email to Brian,
Yeah.
so that you can take that like have document for your project. Normally for a normal person like you,
Yeah.
it's quite complicated and confusing most of the time to understand, oh, this is really a real or natural leather or not. So I mean that, okay, being a manufacturer and then we are dealing and working with the overseas basics. I mean that we are not dealing with the normal person. We are dealing with the expert in the leather goods. The first thing of everything is we must ensure that this is a natural leather. So we have to work with our tannery and supplier, and one of the top factor we have to raise to them is we are requiring a natural leather. This is just like our car business. No way about all the crap leather, just natural leather. Okay, and then after that we just choose to work with the tannery who can provide the natural leather only, and then after that they will send to you the sample, and then by your experience when you see it and then you touch it and then when you look at their certificate and then you can understand. But because you are choosing working with the top reputed tannery who are providing with natural leather, so that you can avoid a certain risk, by choosing the wrong natural leather.
So can you explain to us what is the definition of natural leather? Because one of my teammates from America, he accessed into Amazon, and one of your bag say that 100% from natural leather, but then below you said it has a cow leather lining and fabric lining.
Fabric lining.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take one back for me? Downstairs. One back. I think you can choose two. One with the fabric lining and the other one with the thick lining or lót bên trong. Yeah.
While he's getting the bags, I have a question for you, if that's okay. You talked about certificates, but can you tell the leather is synthetic or
Synthetic is
natural just by touching or smelling
it's touching sometimes, because if you use leather, always use leather, and